certainly not least performer up here tonight, who's going to be giving our final talk, is Krisztina Mike. And she's going to be talking about Zoltan, Miko, and Raoul Wallenberg. I have no idea who those men are either, but she's going to be sharing with us their connection.
Hi guys, it's a bit dark at the back, so I cannot really see everybody. So hi, my name is Krisztina Mike, I'm from Hungary, and I am with Destination Israel, doing an internship. These two people, they were from, Zoltan Miko was from Hungary and Raoul Wallenberg was from Sweden. Now, these are two persons who are very important in my life. They are like a heroic person. Before I start to dig deeper, I will talk a bit about myself. I'm not sure how to use this, but yeah. Okay, so I grew up in Budapest, and I grew up in a liberal Jewish school, family, and in a Jewish school as well. And during the years, while I was growing up, I heard many stories from my family. And in the year of 2005, I had the opportunity to go to Israel for the Hidon HaTanakh, which is a Bible competition between all the Jewish people around the world. And so it's kind of a big deal. So they took us to many places here in Israel. And this picture, it was in Gadna, which is a place where young people, 16, 17 ages, they go there and they see how it is in the IDF. And for me, that was a turning point because I really felt like I had a connection with Israel, with the army as well. And that was like a pushing point for me, because when I went back to Hungary, first of all, I told to my parents, okay, I'm gonna go to Israel and I will go to the army. And my mom freaked out and my dad was like, okay, you can go. Well, I never did actually. So I stayed in Hungary, I studied and things like that. And during these years, I started to do research about my my relative, Zoltan Miko, who he was captain of Air Force during the Second World War, and so he's on the left side, left and the back. He was the youngest brother of my great-grandfather, and they were 8 kids altogether. And so he decided to start to study to become a pilot, because my great-grandfather, he was a pilot as well. On the right picture, that's my great-grandfather on the right side, showing how to turn when flying in a different way. And near him, that's Zoltan. And my great-grandfather, he died because of an accident, crashing down with the plane. But Zoltan, he decided to finish up with his studies, and eventually he became like one of the most important assets of the Hungarian Air Force. So he became the leader of so he was like a double agent, because one side he was working as someone who tried to work against the Nazi regime, and the other hand, because in Hungary the government, they were supporting the German leaders and the Nazis. He had to kind of he was the leader of the party of that side as well, but under that he was actually working with saving people and helping people. Now, okay, so who is Raoul Wallenberg, and what shall we know about him? Raoul Wallenberg, he was from Sweden, and actually I was quite shocked that many people, they are not familiar with his name. He was a Swedish diplomat from Sweden, and in 1944, when we were in the middle of the Second World War and the Holocaust itself, his government decided to send him for a diplomatic assignment in July to Hungary to protect the remaining Jewish communities. And so Wallenberg, he used all his diplomatic authorities to issue protective passports for thousands of Jewish people, tens of thousands of Jewish people, and also he been providing shelters for the Jewish peoples, mostly in Budapest. Now, in the protective houses, I'm sure you heard about the protective houses, maybe? Maybe not? Okay. So these were like houses where, like mostly embassy buildings where the Jewish people, they were hiding during the Holocaust time period. And with his authority, he was able to give fully designated Swedish territories for these people. And now the two of them, how they connected. When they sent Wallenberg to Hungary, his leaders told him about some people, including my relative as well. As someone important, he should get in contact. And when he came to Hungary, they started to work together in cooperating with saving the Jewish people, but not just Jewish people, but also many Hungarian poetic writers who kind of, they were creating things which the government didn't like and the Soviet Union didn't like. And also we had refugees from Poland and many Jewish refugees as well who've been staying in Budapest, and all of them, they gave all their documents to Raoul Wallenberg. And when the Gestapo started to put these people into the death camps, they gave all these documents, so he would be able to save it and hide it somewhere. And so my relative, he was actually helping him with hiding these documents. And along with that, also it was my relative, and I know, I guess it seems a bit like, okay, I'm like talking about like, okay, my relative was so cool and everything like that. But for me it was really important, like connection, to see like how my family was involved in saving many people. So so basically my relative, he was ordering all the soldiers who've been working under him that, okay guys, go to these protective houses. And so they've been bringing the food there, the water, and also they've been helping with the papers, the protective papers. And in towards December, Christmas period, when the Russians started to arrive, basically what happened is, yeah, I go to the next one. So they captured both Zoltan, Miko, and both Raoul Wallenberg, and because Wallenberg got the documents from the massacre in Katyn. I don't know if anyone heard about the massacre in Katyn. Okay, no, that's fine. They killed thousands of people and the Russians, and so these papers, it was very important for the Russians as well. So the westward, they will not know about, that they've been doing this. And because my relative helped Wallenberg to hide these documents, later on when they captured them, they took them to Russia. And basically, both of them, they disappeared in 1945, and they never found the body of none of them, neither Raoul Wallenberg, neither my relative. But my relative, they sent like a document that he'd been executed in 1945 in the springtime. But as a matter of fact, there is the Raoul Wallenberg, the family, his family, they are still looking for some sort of like closure and proof whether he survived or not. And just a quick, just to show you if there aren't, I'll just quickly finish. Familiar with the things. So Raoul Wallenberg, he was from Sweden. So on the left side, that's Sweden, which is like up here. And then Hungary, this one, it's up there. And then Israel. So I will close the story with this. Because of these two people as well, many Jewish people who live here now in Israel, the same age like me, they are living because they got the documents which made them able to survive. And this is something which motivates me, and this is something which pushes me to go forward and try to tell my story and try to approach maybe Yad Vashem as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Krisztina. Okay, let's all give it up. One more round of applause for all of our participants this evening. You guys did an amazing job. So, I think that all of us can safely say that we have something incredible in common, which is that we all took the risk, and we were all brave enough to leave our homes, leave our lives, leave our countries, leave some of our languages to be here in Israel. So, for me, that connects to the bravery and the risk-taking it took tonight for all of them to speak and come up here. And on top of that, all of us, collectively, decided to take it one step further and apply to this leadership summit. One more risk, one more reward. And for most of us, it's an incredible honor, an incredible achievement that we've come this far. I can only imagine all the thousands of people that didn't even have the guts to leave their lives because they were too scared to come to Israel, to leave. There's a lot of what-ifs in starting over. But tonight, most of us stopped there. That was enough. Which is great. We're here, we're doing it. But for 6 people that were on the stage tonight, they put it all out there. Their vulnerabilities, their stories. I know I saw myself in a lot of these stories. I hope most of you took away a personal anecdote from each of these stories. But I want to remind you that every single one of you had an opportunity to be on this stage tonight. It was an opportunity that every single one of us could have taken, could have chosen to do. It would have been terrifying for most of us. Or not. We're all future leaders. Some of us, most of us are current leaders. But it's something I want to leave you with, because I think that tonight, hearing each of these different perspectives showed me, and hopefully all of us, that we all have a story to tell. Most of us have so much inside of us that we're able to give to others. So, that's it, and I hope you guys had a great night.